What is evidence? Evidence is information collected as part of the inventory collection process. The application recognition library is then used to recognize applications from the collected evidence. In this demo, we're going to walk through a review of an evidence record and the various views within Flexera One. Let's get started. From the Application and Evidence menu, I'm going to first navigate to unrecognized evidence. Unrecognized evidence is evidence that's coming in from your inventory that is not being used by the application recognition library for application recognition. You would see installer evidence, file evidence, and access evidence here, all being unrecognized, that could be either assigned by highlighting and assigning to an existing application in the system, or if that application does not exist for this, then you could create a new application. You'll be doing an exercise shortly where you will be doing just that, creating a new application. Based on the evidence views, this is one of the most widely used views that I would see. This is an area of risk. This is evidence coming in that is not being used or is not being recognized as an application, therefore can't be consumed at a license level. Next is discovered evidence. Discovered evidence is all evidence that is coming in through your inventory discovery process. In our case, we have 49. In your case, you'll probably have millions. You can also see all file evidence discovered and all access evidence that has been discovered from here. In each of these, you do have the ability to highlight a piece of evidence and ignore that evidence by managing that. An ignored piece of evidence would not contribute to application recognition upon the next inventory. Let's open up an evidence record and take a look. So you can see the evidence name that's coming in is Windows 10 Enterprise. The version is 10%, and so what we're collecting is a wildcarded property, and then there's Microsoft %. The type and the source. You will also see whether this is an active piece. Active means not being ignored. You will also see if it is assigned. Assigned means being assigned to an application during the application recognition process. You do have the ability to mark it as ignored in the evidence record itself, and it'll show you the number of matches of this evidence in your last inventory. Let's go to the application tab. Since we see that it is assigned, then we can see that it should be, from an evidence perspective, mapped to an application in the ARL, and we see that that has occurred. On the device tab, you would see all those devices that we are getting that match on, giving you the details of where this evidence is coming from. Next one is all evidence. All evidence is just that. It is a collection of all evidence in the system, including all evidences that are used in our application recognition process. You'll see there are many here. You can also see the file evidences, and you could also see the access evidences that we do recognize within Flexera One here. Next is ignored evidence. Earlier in each of those views, you have the ability to highlight a piece of evidence and ignore that, and that puts that into an ignored state. An ignored piece of evidence upon the next run of the application recognition would not contribute to that application recognition. If you do ignore something and you do need to use that in the future or for recognition, you can simply highlight that and click recover as well from there. You can also assign, you could also create a manual piece of evidence from here in this view. Last is inactive evidence. Inactive evidence is evidence that is in our application recognition library, and we don't have matches on that evidence within your inventory coming into the system.